What's up guys, Prepared Guy here once again, and today we're taking a look at the Nitecore EDC33, and I'm going to tell you all about it right now. Upon unboxing, you'll find the EDC33 itself, along with a C-type charging cable, a lanyard, and of course the manual. The EDC33 is made of aluminum alloy, is IP68 water resistant, has an impact rating of 2 meters, and weighs just under 130 grams or just over 4.5 ounces. I'll leave the tech specs from the manual on the screen now just in case I leave out any details, so pause the video here to see those details. During my runtime test starting in the 1200 lumen high mode, the EDC33 ran for about 2 hours and 15 minutes at the 1200 lumen output before stepping down a couple of times and then turning off. The total runtime with light present was 2 hours and 51 minutes before the battery became too depleted to go on. However, when I picked up the EDC33 to see if it would still turn on again after it had already turned off, I was surprised to see that it still had enough power to give us a few short bursts of the turbo modes, which I thought was pretty cool. Next up, during my thermal output test, the EDC33 reached a max thermal output of 132 degrees Fahrenheit or 55 degrees Celsius after about 6 minutes of use. Moving along to my recharge time test, the EDC33 took just 1 hour and 50 minutes to fully recharge from completely depleted using my Anchor charger, which was 10 minutes less than the recharge time stated in the manual. Now let's take a brief tour of the modes and general operation of the Nitecore EDC33. Alright guys, this is the Nitecore EDC33 and I'm going to tell you all about it right this second. Now let's give you a brief tour of the light. As you can see here, pretty nice looking light, fits in the palm of your hand, has some cool features on it, has that brand new 20 max UHI LED in there with a little proximity sensor, and then it also has a manual lockout mode, which I kind of like. It's a manual digital lockout mode, so it's a manual, so see, but you can also unlock it and do this. Well, you go ahead and you engage that, and you can have it as a half lockout mode now, so you can still access the search and the shield mode, and then in order to shut that off, you just turn that off, turn it back on, and you're in full lockout mode again. Pretty simple operation. I'm going to jump right into the momentary button pushes right here. So go ahead and push the button there. That's the search mode, 1700 lumens, and then you can go ahead and full press it, and that's going to give you 4000 lumens. That's the shield mode, which is pretty cool. Now you can't full on access those and leave them on. It only gives you basically the low 5 lumen mode or the ultra low 5 lumen mode, the 70 lumen mode, the 300 lumen mode, and the 1200 lumen mode. And then from there, it's just going to cycle back to the 5. But if you hold down the button, that's your shield, that's your search mode. And then full press is going to be your shield mode. And you can't access those and keep those on. You just kind of temporary or momentary mode on them. So now, just from that little quick demonstration, this light is extremely hot, and that's why I like to tell you guys that yes, it is capable of 4000 lumens, but it is really an EDC 1200 lumen flashlight capable of 4000 lumens, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially since it gets super hot. And in saying this, during my runtime test, it did get up to 132 degrees in the 1200 lumen mode. So I left it on 1200 lumens, let it run the whole time. It got my 2.5 hours or whatever it was that it ran for out of that at 1200 lumens, then it stepped down, obviously. But if I was going to leave this in the 4000 lumen mode, it would reach well over 150, 160 degrees, which is not good. And the light shuts itself off, but if you're spamming it, it's going to get too hot. And in the manual, it also says don't let the light get over 140 degrees Fahrenheit for an extended period of time. And the reason it is in the manual is that the friggin' battery could explode, okay? And that's not a good thing to read in the manual, especially when you don't have a removable battery. So it's not like you can just take the battery out and cool it down and hope for the best, or swap out batteries or whatever. Yeah, so that's a negative right there. There's also, you know, like I said, the manual lockout button, which is really freaking sweet. And then you have this little bezel up here. You can access the charging port for the C-type right there. In general, not a bad little light. There are some things that it could use improvements on. I would get rid of the built-in battery. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention too, it does have the battery indicator there, which is kind of self-explanatory if you watch the early parts of this video. As far as the proximity sensor goes, let's test that out right now. See if it dims down. Yeah, so the proximity sensor works pretty well. So yeah, no, it's not a bad flashlight, guys. It just needs some improvements. Like, this is what we're here for. This is what we do on the channel. I tell you guys, and I even tell the company, these are the things I'd improve upon, and these are the things I like about it. It's not a terrible flashlight if you take it at face value, and for what it is in this review, it's decent. I like it, but there could be improvements upon it. So let's take it outside and see how it compares to one of the other Nitecore models that we have. The EDC33 has a max beam distance of 450 meters or 1480 feet in the 1700 lumen spotlight mode. It also has a max candela of 54,500 CD and utilizes a 9-core UHI 20 max LED, which appears to be 5500K in color tint.
Alright guys, I am outside with the Nitecore EDC33, and I'll throw this in the low 5 lumen mode. And that's what the low 5 lumen mode looks like. We are exactly 20 feet away from the railing here in front of us. Now I'm going to step it up again. We're jumping up to the 70 lumen mode. 70 lumens you could start to see out into the yard way out there. That's about 100 feet from where we're standing right now. I'm going to jump up to the 300 lumen mode. That's 300 lumens, about 100 feet away from that tree line back there, and then I'm going to jump it up to the 1200 lumens, and that's what 1200 lumens looks like. That's crazy. This thing's ridiculously bright. And then we're going to throw this into the search mode, and then we're going to do the lumen shield, and that's what that looks like. That's crazy. Ridiculous. Look how bright that is. All right, guys, now we're out in the yard. We're going to put this in the 5 lumen mode. That's 5 lumens. And then we're going to step it up from the 5 lumens to the 70 lumens. 70 lumens you can start to see on that tree line. That's about 100 feet away from where I'm standing right now. I'm going to jump up to the 300 lumens. 300 lumens, that's nice and bright, and you can see through the night. And then we're going to jump up to the 1200 lumens. You can start to see everything around you in the background there. It's 1200 lumens. And then we're going to jump into the 4000 lumen mode. It's 4000 lumens, and we're going to do the shield now, and that is the shield, and that is a total, that is a total of 4000 lumens now. Look how bright that is. Ridiculous. Now I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison for you guys using the EDC33 on the right and the Nitecore MH12 SE on the right. I'm going to throw this in. This is 3300 lumens, and then we have the 4000 lumens, and that's what those look like side by side, guys. Look at that. And I've upset the pigeon, and there we go. Ridiculously bright. And of course the EDC is very, very hot. It's almost too hot to hold, and it has stepped down in my hand, whereas 3300 lumens on the MH12 SE is still going, no problem, and I can still hold it. So that's the problem that we have here, is this gets a little bit too hot for my liking, but it is what it is, guys. I mean, power in the punch. It's a 1200 lumen flashlight that's capable of 4000 lumens, and I wouldn't picture this any other way other than to say it like that, because that's exactly what you're getting here. But it does punch through the night, and if you're going to use it in small intervals, pretty cool EDC. But if you need it for long term, I would go with something like this. So not too bad.
Now for my pros and cons. First, the pros. The outputs and run times are reasonable, it's compact and easy to use, and I like the physical lockout button along with the solid pocket clip. Now for my cons. I felt like the light got too hot too fast. Some additional heat dissipation would be nice to see in future models, along with a removable battery. In reality, it's a 1200 lumen flashlight being advertised as a 4000 lumen flashlight, and the reason that I say that is because the light functions most efficiently at 1200 lumens and just happens to be capable of 4000 lumens. In closing, if you know what you're getting into when you're buying this light, full well knowing its limitations and capabilities, then the EDC33 will be great for some users. For the rest of us in the flashlight industry, the EDC33 is just a stepping stone to future innovations from Nitecore. Ultimately, it's up to you to decide which flashlights will best suit your needs. With that said, the Nitecore EDC33 retails for just $69.95 along with a 5-year free from defects warranty. I'll leave the links down in the description below. I hope this video has been helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Prepared Guy, and until next time, guys, don't upset the pigeon.
Hey there, thank you for watching. You can pat this cat.